My name is Raul Meneses, and I'm about to tell you about the worst night of my life. I was driving alone on a freezing early morning when I saw a man asking for a ride on the side of the road. His name was Arlindo Duarte. He got into my truck, and out of nowhere, he said, "There are things that only move when no one is looking." I thought he was joking, but then he continued, "And when it looks at you, you never sleep right again." That's when everything began. Years before that night, Arlindo was living on the streets. One time, he slept in an abandoned playground. It was deep into the night when he heard footsteps dragging through dry leaves. When he pulled the cloth off his head, he saw a woman standing just a few meters away, perfectly still, staring straight at him. Then she crouched down, bent her body like an animal, and leapt into the tree. Her fingers twisted backward, gripping the wood. She climbed up to a very high branch, and from up there she smiled. A smile no human being should be able to make. Arlindo froze. He waited for her to blink, but she never did. When she leaned her body forward, he ran. He ran without looking back, feeling the air shift behind him, as if something was chasing him through the trees. He only stopped when he reached a group of drunk people on the street, and he spent the rest of the night shaking. When he finished telling the story, a shadow passed by the window of my truck. Too fast, Arlindo turned pale and said, "She doesn't stay only in the trees, Raul. She runs along the roadside too." The next day, I dropped him off at a gas station. But even now, whenever I drive down roads lined with trees, I feel like someone is watching me from above. And sometimes I swear I see a smile between the branches. Before we move on to the next story, tell me in the comments, are you enjoying the video? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any stories, and come with me to the next one. One day, while I was sitting in a public square trying to gather some money, I saw a man walking by in a hurry. Something fell from his backpack and slid across the ground. I called out, ran after him, and picked it up. It was his wallet. Inside was his entire paycheck. When I returned it, he was so grateful that he insisted on paying me. I refused. He insisted again. I kept saying no, until he offered me food, and that day, I hadn't eaten anything. We sat at a simple bar. While I ate, he started talking to me, asked about my life, where I slept, whether I still had my documents. I told him everything. He listened in silence. Before leaving, he made a copy of my documents and said he would try to help me. For almost a week, I went back to that square every day at noon. On the 6th day, he was there, smiling. He said he had found me a job, night work, cleaning rooms and bathrooms in a commercial building. The pay wasn't much, but it came with a room, with a door, with light, with a key. On the first night of work, I felt something strange. While cleaning those empty rooms, I had the constant feeling of being watched. I didn't see anyone, I didn't hear anything, but I felt it. Even so, I knew. That place was different from the streets. The things that showed up out there, they couldn't cross those doors. Over time, my life changed. I quit drinking, I met my wife, I built my house, I left the streets for good. Today, I'm leaving this place, far away, because some places hold too many memories. When I finished telling all of this, the driver fell silent. The road seemed darker than before. I smiled and said to him, "There are things that only appear to people who are already broken inside. But once you see them, you never forget." I looked at him and asked, "Have you ever seen something that shouldn't exist?" He didn't answer. All I know is that since that night, sometimes when I stop my truck in places that are too quiet, I feel like someone is watching me from between the trees. And if you've never seen anything supernatural, pray that it stays that way, because the next story could very well be yours. Good night.